So you want to own a diamond mine. Not the toy crystal growing kit from Amazon that your nephew got for his birthday. The real thing, an actual hole in the ground somewhere that spits out little rocks worth more than your car. If you're picturing yourself in a pith helmet standing next to a giant hole while shirtless men in old movies dig for you, I need you to sit down, because that image is going to get seriously renovated in the next few minutes. But if you've got money sitting around and you genuinely want in on this, stick with me, because by the end of this video, you're going to know exactly how people do this for a fraction of what you think it costs. And if you don't have that kind of money lying around, that's fine too. Stick around anyway, because watching rich people problems get solved is basically a spectator sport at this point, and this one has dirt in it. Let's get the fantasy out of the way first, because everyone pictures the same thing when they hear diamond mine. Africa, a massive open pit, conveyor belts, a security fence topped with razor wire, maybe a guy named Cecil somewhere on a horse. That version of a diamond mine costs, conservatively, hundreds of millions of dollars to build and operate. And honestly, if you're the kind of person who can casually drop that kind of money on a hobby, you probably didn't click on a video with the word cheapest in the title. You'd have someone else watch this video for you. So let's throw that fantasy in the trash and build a version of diamond ownership that doesn't require you to personally rival a small nation's GDP. Here's where it gets genuinely interesting, and it starts with a question. What do you actually want out of this? Because owning a diamond mine secretly splits into two completely different dreams, and almost nobody separates them before they start spending money. Dream 1. You want to physically dig up your own diamond. Hold it in your hand and legally say, I found this, it's mine, nobody can take it. Dream 2. You want to own an actual stake in an actual diamond mining operation. The deed, the paperwork, the boring financial reality of the industry. These require completely different amounts of money, and one of them is dramatically cheaper than the other. Let's start with the cheap one, because it's almost insultingly cheap, and I promise you've probably never heard of it. There is exactly one place on planet Earth where a regular civilian can walk onto an actual former diamond mine, dig in the dirt with a shovel, and legally keep any diamond they find. No split, no royalty, no government official standing over your shoulder with a scale. It's in Arkansas. Yes, Arkansas. Not exactly the glittering diamond capital your imagination was picturing, but stay with me. It's called Crater of Diamonds State Park, and it sits on the eroded surface of an actual volcanic crater that pushed real diamonds up from deep inside the earth millions of years ago. For $15, the price of a movie ticket and a small popcorn, you get access to a 37-acre plowed field that used to be a commercial diamond mine before Arkansas turned it into a park in 1972. You bring a shovel, a bucket, and a screen. Or you can rent that gear on site for about 10 to 15 bucks. And then you just dig and sift and squint at the dirt like you're auditioning for a documentary. Since 1972, visitors have pulled more than 35,000 diamonds out of that field, including one called the Uncle Sam, 40.23 carats, the largest diamond ever found in the United States, discovered by a regular person with a shovel, not a mining conglomerate. Two TikTokers found a 6-carat canary yellow diamond there earlier this year. So no, you're probably not walking away with a Kardashian-sized rock. Most finds are small. But here's the actual point. For $15, you technically, legally, on paper, become a diamond miner for the day. And whatever comes out of that ground is 100% legally yours. That's the cheapest possible entry into this entire industry. And it comes with a gift shop. Now, if $15 and a rented shovel feels a little too casual for your billionaire cosplay energy, let's go one level up, because there's a way to own actual mining rights, real legal paperwork with your name on it, for shockingly little money, and it involves the United States government basically renting you a chunk of land to dig on. Under a federal law from 1872 that, and I promise I'm not exaggerating, has not meaningfully changed since telegrams were cutting-edge technology, any American citizen can stake what's called a mining claim on open federal land and gain the legal mineral rights to whatever is underneath it, diamonds included, since diamonds legally count as a locatable mineral, just like gold or silver. The process sounds intimidating, but it's almost comically bureaucratic and cheap. You find land that's open to mineral claims using the government's own online land record system. You physically mark the corners of your claim with posts, you file a notice of location with your county, and then you pay the federal filing fee, which currently runs around $225 to $275 for an initial load claim. After that, there's an annual maintenance fee, somewhere around $165 to $200 a year to keep your claim active. And if you own fewer than 10 claims, you can apply for something called a small miner's waiver, which lets you skip that annual fee entirely in exchange for doing about $100 worth of actual labor on the land each year, digging test pits, clearing paths, that sort of thing. For less than $300 plus a little manual labor, you can legally hold mineral rights to a 20-acre chunk of American soil. Now I have to be honest with you here, because this video is about being cheap, not about being delusional. The overwhelming majority of this land does not have diamonds under it. Diamonds only form under extremely specific volcanic conditions called kimberlite pipes, and those are geologically rare and mostly already mapped by people way more obsessed with rocks than either of us. But the legal mechanism is real, the price is real, and if you actually do your geological homework and find land near a known kimberlite formation, like certain areas along the Colorado-Wyoming border, you're not doing anything illegal or sketchy by staking a claim there for a few $100. You're just probably not going to retire off it. Consider this the diamond mining equivalent of buying a lottery ticket that also technically makes you a landowner. Okay, so what if digging isn't really your thing, and what you actually want is to own a piece of a real, functioning industrial diamond mining company, the kind with actual employees and actual trucks and actual diamonds coming out of the ground on a schedule? This is where we talk about publicly traded mining stocks, and specifically the smaller, cheaper ones, known in the industry as junior mining companies. You do not need millions of dollars to own a literal piece of a diamond mine. You need a brokerage account and about the price of a nice dinner. Companies like Mountain Province Diamonds, which operates in Canada's Northwest Territories, or Gem Diamonds, which runs operations in Lesotho, including the famous Letsing mine, one of the highest value diamond mines on Earth, trade publicly, sometimes for just a few dollars a share, sometimes for pennies. When you buy shares in a company like this, you are legally and literally a fractional owner of that mining operation. You get no say in daily operations, nobody's mailing you a diamond, but on paper, you own a sliver of an actual working diamond mine for less money than a pair of sneakers. Fair warning, and I mean this seriously, penny mining stocks are wildly volatile. Some of these companies survive purely on investor funding rounds rather than actual diamond revenue, and a lot of them go to zero. This is less safe, cheap investment and more cheapest possible way to say you own diamond mining stock at a party, so treat it accordingly, and never put in more than you're fully prepared to lose. There's one more path, and I want to mention it because it exists and people ask about it, but I'm giving you the biggest disclaimer of this entire video before I do. In parts of the world like Sierra Leone or other diamond-producing regions, small-scale artisanal mining licenses do exist, allowing individuals to legally dig for diamonds on designated land for relatively little money by Western standards. On paper, this can look like an even cheaper entry point than anything we've covered so far. In practice, this space comes with serious ethical baggage, unreliable legal protections for foreigners, and a well-documented history of exploitative labor conditions in some regions, which is exactly the kind of history that gave us the term blood diamond in the first place. If this route genuinely interests you, you would need serious, dedicated legal and ethical due diligence with people who actually specialize in that specific country and region, not a YouTube video. I'm mentioning it because it exists, not because I'm handing you a green light. So here's the actual cheapest way to own a diamond mine, laid out honestly. If you want the pure experience, the bragging rights, the technically I am a diamond miner story, spend $15 in Arkansas and get your hands dirty. If you want actual legal mineral rights with your name on government paperwork, budget a few $100s, a lot of patience, and manage your expectations somewhere around zero. If you want real ownership in an actual functioning mine, open a brokerage account and buy a few shares of a junior diamond miner for less than the cost of a pizza, understanding fully that it might be worth double next year or worth nothing. None of these paths involve pith helmets, security fences, or shirtless men on horseback. And honestly, that's for the best. So now be honest with me. Are you actually about to book a flight to Arkansas with a shovel in your trunk? Or did you just click this video because deep down, you like the idea of being the kind of person who casually owns a diamond mine, even if the closest you'll ever get is watching a video about it on your lunch break? No judgment either way. I did the research. You get to keep the fantasy for free.